Hey everyone, go blue. I'm back in America. Is the Don finally gets his due on the cover of NCAA 25. We have Denard Robinson news, we have portal news, and are our rivals just straight up down bad? It's all coming up next on Michigan Wolverines Live. And thanks for coming to another episode of Michigan Wolverines Live. Today is Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. I'll be your host for the next hour or so, John Diadamo. You can follow me on Twix at John Diadamo. A couple of quick reminders. It is the 147th episode. So we're right there with Iowa Hawkeyes Live, right there neck and neck in our episodes. I thought that was fun. Also, like this video, subscribe, share with a friend. If everybody shares with just one friend, then we're just going to blow this thing up and it's going to be great. Please hit that like button if you do nothing else, if you like the content. And then, of course, if you want your comment or question to be bumped to the top, we always have a lot to talk about, so you might want to consider doing that and sending a super chat in. And now, we've got some exciting channel updates, so I want to bring in my co-host here, who always does a great job and did a great job last week when I was 5 hours in another country. I was up listening, and you were doing a great job, TJ. Go blue.
Yeah, good to have you back, man. Yeah, dude, a lot of exciting new stuff coming. This Thursday, we're going to start a call-in show where John will be joining me. That'll be 9 p.m. Thursday. We're still working on a name. There's a poll on the YouTube channel in the community tab if you guys are interested in voting for a potential name. We're kind of working on it. Maybe Thursday night we'll reveal the name. And then we are now on audio. So you can get us on all your podcast platforms such as Spotify, Audible, and Amazon. Right now we're working on Apple. They seem to be a little bit more difficult than the others. So that's a work in progress, but we're going to get there. And yeah, man, so the channel is growing. It's exciting, man. I'm really excited. Also, I'm going to be hitting some recruiting segments for the channel, and then also any breaking news. So we're really trying to build this channel up. We appreciate all of you guys. Like, honestly, like I've joined the channel, close to a month now. And I've been on the show since end of January, really.
Yeah.
And, meeting the community and like seeing you guys support it, from Jackson Johnson to Dependent Fanatic and my man Moose, who I haven't seen in the chat yet tonight. And then Borge Warner, I saw you, man, promoting the show, and like all you guys, like we really appreciate that. Honestly, like I like it's really impressive, the community that's building here, and we really appreciate it. I just want to let you guys all know that.
Absolutely. And I appreciate everybody being supportive of TJ and welcoming of TJ as a co-host, and also Ferris and Cliff and Mac and kind of some of the people that we're bringing in, because what we want this to be is not just a once a week show and then nothing else is happening, right? Like there's going to be content with recruiting that TJ's doing. There's stuff with analytics. If you're into that, Ferris has you covered with Smash the Numbers. Cliff and Mac have their own stuff that they're doing, and I was just on their Big Ten show last night, which some members of the community were there, and we appreciate that. So that I had a blast hanging out with Cliff and Mac, and the community is just so supportive. And so thank you, especially Moose, Dependent Fanatic, Keith. Like you guys are always here, and Jackson Johnson, aka Double J, as we like to call him, our chief marketer here at the Voice of College Football. So thanks for that. And here he is. Look at that. Look at that. That's great. That's
shout
great.
Out to Maximus with his 15 coworkers watching the show right now. We appreciate you, and shout out to Tom Bouchard too, man. We appreciate you.
Yes. P. Maximus, you got 15 people listening. That is awesome. Thank you. And to those of you in the work break room, thanks for taking some time to listen to some Michigan football. And here's Moose. I knew Moose he's got Taco Tuesday going on. Okay. So he's he's been a little bit busy with wrapped up with Taco Tuesday, but he's here.
Hey, I had tacos too, man.
Hey, nothing wrong with tacos.
That's where it's
well,
at.
we gotta hit on a serious topic. Big J journalism here at the Voice of College Football. We did have Shoelace Denard Robinson did get fired. We were expecting it after the course of the investigation, but they have to do the investigation before they let somebody go. I mean, you heard the news as well. It's a shame, but I don't really think this tarnishes like the legacy of him as a player. I think that there were actually people like playing like highlights of Denard today and like all of that. I hope he learns from this. It's I've dealt with a lot of alcohol related stuff in my life in the past, and it's not fun to anybody involved, but so very mixed feelings right now, TJ.
Yeah. Well, look, man, I mean, like, yeah, they're legends, but these dudes are human, right? And unfortunately, like many of us, we all make mistakes, and hopefully he can learn and grow, like, I mean, Denard is literally one of the most dynamic players ever put on the wing helmet, and we appreciate him. And I'm sure he will always have a place here. It's just unfortunate, especially after what happened with Coach Scruggs.
Yeah.
The writing was on the wall. They were going to do the investigation and they were going to let him go. And unfortunately, it's just the way it went. So, good luck to him. Hopefully, he does well on his journey, and, hope the best for him.
Yeah, let's be real. Those years where he was quarterbacking could have been a lot worse than they were.
Oh,
right?
Geez.
Like
Yes.
he was single. I would say there were times when he was single-handedly propping up the team, and it could have been a lot worse than it was. I was there when he was the quarterback. So
yeah, I mean, dude, our defenses were garbage. If it wasn't for his ability to score at any play, I mean, he was so dynamic with the ball in his hands. I went to the Sugar Bowl game down in New Orleans in 2011. Ooh. And
okay.
Yeah, that was epic, man. Like to see that. And that was our first big New Year's Six game in a while. So yeah, man. I mean, he's forever gonna be a legend. And thankfully he put a bright spot in a dark era of Michigan football. So, shout out to him, man, and hopefully, things work out.
Absolutely. We do want to remind everybody when you're doing your shopping on Amazon, we have the link in every video here at the Voice of College Football, and it's the same shopping experience. So if you're already doing it, you might as well get Mark Rogers a couple of bucks and help support the channel in that way, and we would appreciate that. I just used it recently. I tell this before. I've gotten a popcorn maker. I've gotten a Nintendo Switch. Using the Amazon link. So these are the types of things. I'm gonna do it anyway. So might as well throw it in there. So just try to remember, y'all. If you can, and that's all.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Cliff. He's in the chat. Appreciate you, Cliff.
Cliff.
Yeah, he's here.
Cliff. Man, that show was great last night. Thank you for having me on. I was the first ever guest, official, special guest. So it was an honor, and I look forward to some of the next people that you have on. And I kept the bar real low. So now the people coming on, they're gonna kill it, because we started with down here. So we'll but thank you for being here, Cliff, and for being part of our channel in such a big way. All right. So congratulations goes to the Don. Whoa, can they catch him? No. Touchdown, Donovan Edwards. So front and center on the cover of the EA College Football 25 video game deluxe edition. Does this mean that Michigan's finally getting a little respect? Because I feel like in previous years, you'd probably, if this was done 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you'd see Ohio State, You'd see Georgia. You'd see Alabama. Maybe LSU would sneak in there. Maybe a couple others. But I feel like Michigan would probably be somewhere far in the back. And this means something, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to push back a little bit on that, John. Like, I'll say this.
Okay.
Given if it was maybe a couple years ago, sure, maybe Michigan wouldn't have been on the platform they are now. Obviously,
Yeah.
Michigan is nationally known, and they are back, unlike Texas. And we are an elite program now, and that like we're back in the elite territory. We are definitely, in my opinion, a top 3 program, top 5. If you want to argue top 5, we could argue top 5. But we just won the Natty, so that shit's ours. But look, Denard Robinson was on the last cover of NCAA.
That's true.
We also are, John, and I know there's gonna be some like Ohio State fans watching this or some rivals, right? Listen, we have the most covers on NCAA football. No other school has more than we do. So Charles Woodson was on it. Desmond Howard was on it. So we are actually pretty well represented on the game.
3 of them.
And we are continuing to be represented on the game because this is the Michigan University and we are the leaders and the best, bro. That's just what it is. And they know that. Our brand is one of the most iconic brands in the world, and NCAA capitalized it. And plus, Edwards is about to be in for a big year, and they know that. So that's where it was. And I mean, when you sent me that photo of that cover, man, I didn't even think it was real. Like, it was so epic. That's one of the like EA really stepped it up with that cover. Now, that is the deluxe edition. There's going to be, I think, 3 more covers coming, and I believe Donovan's going to be on one of them. So the three players, I think, Sanders and Ewers is going to be the other quarterback that's going to be on the other cover. We'll see, though. So there's 3 more covers, I think, coming out, which are going to be the main covers, and that should come out, I think, in a couple weeks.
Excellent. More to come. I figured that was a net, but let's see. Let's see if we get any copyright issues here. But I think we have to see. This is beautiful. This is what I'm, what I was hoping would happen. That somebody, either Edwards or Will Johnson or somebody would get that center spot. Of course, next to a team that went 4-8. But I digress. Still awesome that he's in there.
And then also the flag is like right there. You can see the flag, you can see the helmet. Like, all these other schools are like mixed in or cropped out too. This is the full version. This isn't even actually the official. I mean, it is the official, but the slimmed down version doesn't have all these extra like you won't see Tennessee and shit. But yeah, man, I mean, that's an epic cover. They did a great job with that. I'm so excited for this game.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's not going to be the same, crap that we've been getting every year with Madden. So it's been like 10, 12 years since the last time they actually did like a rebuild. And every year they just they put in the new rookies, and they put in if there's a new stadium or a rebuild a stadium. But this feels like a radically new game with all the what's happening in modern college football included. So apparently there's going to be NIL and transfer portal and all of that kind of stuff. So pretty pumped.
Yeah, I mean, they've had years to work on this game. Okay, so this game, and like the things I'm hearing about, like the announcers, the different announcers, and all the like they have the different groups. They have the Big Noon Kickoff crew. They got the College Game Day crew. They got like all these different announcers from Gus Johnson to Kirk Herbstreit. Like, it's like this game is really in depth. Let's just hope it lives up to the hype, because like I'm definitely getting it. It's going to be pre-ordered, so I can't even wait.
Absolutely. And Moose is saying that Will Johnson should have been next to Donovan Edwards. He's better than Hunter. If they're, I think we got to take what we got there, man. Because like having both of those, I think people's heads would be explode if they were next to each other. But I think we still got a nice feature there.
Cliff had a question. So I think the deluxe edition might be 169, Cliff, but I think the initial game or the game itself is going to be probably $70, $69.99 or whatever. That's typically how it goes. So the special editions will be more, but we'll see. We'll see what they do.
We will. Very exciting. So watch this space. TJ, you've got a couple of comments about the portal here, and so we've been hearing about Sparty safety Jaden Mangum as a top priority for the coaching staff, and really the safety position in general, but especially getting this guy. In my mind, it's kind of like, okay, you could be at a 4-8 program. The coach just got canned for off the field activities, or you could go and be a national. You could play at the national champion program, which is known for good defense. Have you heard anything about Jaden and kind of what they're talking about there?
Yeah. So Jaden is currently, I mean, it's trending pretty good for Michigan. The holdup right now for Michigan with Mangum is apparently, and I've never heard of this before, so this is new. He's going to complete his undergrad at Michigan, but it's going to be a Michigan State degree, and then he's going to enroll as a grad student. So that's what they're trying to pull. I've never seen that before, and I guess the reason why this loophole even exists is because Michigan and Michigan State actually share this specific program, so it's actually doable. But apparently, there's like some hurdles with this, so they're trying to work all that out. So we'll see. We'll see if they can iron it out. It does seem to be trending Michigan, but we'll see. We see how the portal is. It's a very dangerous game. All you need is a school to give you a phone call, and things can change. So yeah. So, but he's going to be at Michigan when he finishes his underground, Ralph. That's the unique thing about it. So he'll get a Michigan State degree at Michigan, which is very unique, and I've never heard of that before. But yeah,
well,
so
yeah, that's fascinating, and it just goes to show some of this, as Dependent Fanatic is saying here. I'm not like the most entrenched in all of these moves, but I did happen to notice that everybody that they're looking at right now is a safety, or at least the three main ones are safeties. And we're about to get into the second two, but I'm just curious, like in general, before we get into the second two, why only the safety position? Why do you think that's the one that they've been honing in on only, and they haven't looked at anything else, like maybe another cornerback, or maybe somebody else to shore up?
So it appears this portal season is very pricey. So pricey that players who would be depth players or players who are not so proven are like six-figure players. So Michigan doesn't want to go down that road. They don't want to overpay for players who they deems value does not meet the production that they're going to produce or the production they have produced. So, for example, we are in on a defensive tackle, Grand Valley State defensive tackle. Well, that's trending LSU. I think his last name's West. I don't have his name memorized because I kind of know what's going on there with that, and I know we're not getting them. So it is what it is. But we're losing players to other programs because other programs are throwing bags at these players. And I know there's going to be people who are going to be in the comments and be like, well, we need to up our game. And like, look, I don't disagree. There needs to be a more competitive aspect to our NIL, but I'm in sort of an agreement in the sense of when it comes to these depth guys, we can't be giving these kids $150,000, $300,000. Like you can't do that. Like you cannot run. Like you have kids who are depth players who may not even be like strong contributors making more than starters. You can't have that principle on the program. And that's kind of the divide right now. I mean, listen, we all know that NIL is a damn mess right now. It's a wild, wild west. Schools are throwing insane money at these kids. And Michigan is so let me clarify this too for anyone who's unsure. Michigan is doing pay for play. So anyone who holds the position, Michigan won't do pay for play. That's not true. That is evolved. They are evolving. They are willing to do pay for play, but they are not willing to be highest bidder for a player or a position, and that matters too. And I can explain that they deem is too pricey. For example, Marquise Davis, this is recruiting
Davis.
now. We lost him to Kentucky. They like Marquise Davis, and I'm gonna be honest, this one hurt. We watched this highlight tape. I love Marquise Davis, so this one hurt like hell, man. Kentucky tripled the offer, and Michigan is not going to pay $300K for a running back who is going to be on the depth chart, a freshman running back, right? When we have all the running backs we have, who is not a proven running back, to be on the roster. Like, they are willing to give him some money because he's earned that. And then you earn more. Their philosophy is you earn more as you develop and as you prove yourself. We'll see. I mean, the high school recruiting, I do think, needs to be a little bit more competitive than what we're doing. I think we're a little frugal in that area. I also know they're trying to raise more funds so they could be a little more aggressive as well, which should happen this summer, which we can talk about maybe on the next show. But yeah, I mean, the reality is the positions we were after, like, we just lost a cornerback to Illinois from Texas. I think his last name was Porter. And he was the number 2 corner for Texas, and he's now going to Illinois. Now, some people will say, and I've seen this already stated, that, well, Illinois has a really good defensive backs coach, which is why he went there. But there's also some NIL element to it. I won't say that recruitment was fully NIL, but the reality is we are losing players, and the only players we're getting interest from right now are the safeties. We've reached out to wide receivers. All right, so for wide receiver, for example, every single receiver we've reached out to that we are interested in for that X position has unfortunately turned us down. That's a true story on that. Offensive line, there just hasn't been enough guys. Like, they're looking for a starting right tackle. If they can't find a starting right tackle, they're not going to do it. Although there is an offensive lineman that they are talking to. I probably should have that, and I should have been prepared. But I don't want to go all in on some of these prospects because the shit is so fluid. And some of these guys, man, like, I'm not very confident we're going to get them because they're just looking elsewhere for other things like money. So the 3 that we're going to focus on, we're very in on, and they are the safeties. But the rest of the positions, we're having trouble pulling into the program right now.
Is it Isaiah Wright from Buffalo?
That is who it is. Good job, John.
Got it.
Hell yeah, that's exactly who that is. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, 6'4", 300 pounds. We could always use somebody like that.
Hey, Watson named the cornerback from Texas. It's Terrence Brooks. He's right. So Terrence Brooks went to Illinois. We lost him. He committed on his very first visit. He was supposed to visit this week, and that one sucks because he would have been competing for CB2. So it is what it is, man. Like, the portal game right now it's really dirty. The recruiting's what my focus is, and hopefully Michigan can start improving in that aspect as well.
Yeah, and I will say, it makes no sense to triple the offer of like a running back when we have such a stacked running back room already. You want to go to Kentucky and win 6 games. You want to take the bag, cool. And then maybe next year or whatever, when if it doesn't go the way that he wants, and the interest is there, then maybe Michigan does go for it. But because that's another thing that you could do now. They could take the bag at wherever, and legally there is nothing stopping that player from taking the bag and running the next year. And that's what happened with Texas A&M when they threw a bunch of money. 2 years ago, like the first big year of NIL, they threw a bunch of money at these kids, and they went 7-5, and then the next year the coach got fired. It is what it is. Like, Michigan's kind of chosen a path of, yes, we'll if it makes sense, we can put money to it, but we're not just going to be throwing stupid money around for no reason at all.
Right, and like, honestly too, in the past year, Michigan has come miles from where we were. And I would also argue since January, we've come a long way. They've tripled the NIL fund. They have a far larger staff, which we're going to talk about a new addition later in the show. And I mean, the program is the infrastructure is being put in place. It's coming along. We're just not there yet, but the recruiting season's still early. It's only May. So we'll see. I'm in observation mode right now. So, I see what's going on. There is some positive, but there's also a lot of frustration too. Like losing Marquise Davis, very frustrating.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Some of these really do hurt. So also we had two others. So Tennessee safety Wesley Walker and Sacramento State Cameron Broussard as well in the safety front.
Yep. So Michigan's looking to add 2 safeties to the team. So now we have 3 options right now. We got Mangum from Michigan State, Walker from Tennessee, and then Broussard from Sacramento State. They're looking to add 2. The reason why they're looking to add 2 is because Zeke Berry is going to be moving to nickelback. So when you look at the injury to Rod Moore, you got the transfer of Keon Saab, and then now moving Zeke Berry from safety to nickelback, there is room in the safety room. So right now, I feel like Mangum is looking good, but you know how that goes with it, like when it comes to like admissions and things of that nature. So we'll see there. Wesley Walker was just on campus recently. Tennessee, former Tennessee safety. His connection is Brian John Marie. So Brian John Marie got him up here. They like him, and we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Another safety, Cameron Broussard, who I'm actually a little intrigued with because he's very like fundamentally sound, good tackler, very athletic player. He visited on the 10th, I believe. It was May 10th. So we'll see where it goes. I haven't heard a lot of buzz since the visit. And typically when you don't hear a lot of buzz, I don't know. Typically it's not a great sign, but it's not necessarily telling either. It's just an interesting development. But we'll see, man. I mean, I do think we will add at least 1 safety. We'll see if we'll be able to pull 2.
Yeah, and Moose mentioning OSU is going after. I'm assuming he means Quincy Porter. Now after they saw Michigan was going after him. Well, that just makes sense. I mean, the Buckeyes, saw that we wanted somebody, and then they wanted to bid for them. That's a big shocker.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, that happens all the damn time. I mean, Quincy Porter he's a wide receiver, so Ohio State has that draw, right? But Ohio State has a history of if we offer a player, they offer a player. If we're into a player, then they try and swing them to they try and block them from us. They do this shit all the time. Like if you remember, I don't necessarily remember the kid's name, but the Oregon State transfer, he was a zero tech. It was like 2-3 years ago when Michigan was trying to get bigger on the defensive line. Ohio State offered him after Michigan, so he wouldn't come to Michigan, man. And then remember Dylan Baldwin from Jackson State?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They did the same shit with him, man. So they have a track record of offering our guys after we offer them or pursuing harder because they know our interest is in those players. So listen, it's typical rivalry bullshit. They're scumbags. We know that. So it is what it is, man.
And we will have more to come on Ohio State later in the show. But before we do any of that, we do want to remind everybody that we have the Voice of College Football merch store. So check that out and get yourself some merch for the college football fan in your life. We've got all kinds of things on here. I'm not going to show it today, but you've got the link there, shirts and hoodies and coffee mugs and everything else. And we also do ask if anybody has a product, service, business, or personal brand that they want to sponsor the Voice of College Football with, Voice of College Football Michigan, any of our shows. Talk to MarkRogersTV@gmail.com to learn how it could benefit you to be part of Voice of College Football Network. Okay. Let's see here. We've got the man himself, Tim Prengley's in the house. He's chilling.
We got to do a pregame show, Tim. We got that week is gonna be a good week, man. We got a lot of content to make with you.
Get some crossover content there. Oh, yeah. Tim, of course, the host of our USC shows and now part of Trojans Wire, USA Today. So very exciting, and we're very happy for Tim as he goes on this journey here and is doing all the writing and all the things and getting ingrained into USC Trojans insider whole universe. So it's great. And we're happy for him. Okay. So big news on the NIL front, TJ. So Michigan has decided to hire an executive GM specifically for NIL for Michigan Athletics, Therese Whitehead. And so my first thought when I heard this was, wait a minute. Didn't we hire a GM like pretty recently, and NIL was supposed to be like one of his main responsibilities? So is Therese like under him, or like what's like the walk me through that a little bit if you have some insight on it?
Yep. So Sean McGee is the general manager for the football team, and he handles the NIL portion for the football team. Whitehead is going to be for the entire athletic department as a whole. She's going to cover from like girls swimming all the way to the basketball team, right? Hockey team, gymnastics, etc. So, and she will also do some crossover into the football as well with her connections with the Altuis partnership we have with them. So, she's a good addition. She's another person to help build our NIL efforts. And I mean, if anyone looks at her resume, it's pretty damn impressive. She has a pretty in-depth background with like the NBA and a bunch of professional leagues, and she seems very qualified. I'm interested to see what she does. Honestly, we may see the biggest impact of her. I mean, we'll see though, right? I'm assuming at this point, but I would say like the non-revenue sports, like maybe the hockey team or the girls gymnastics team or the softball team, which everyone's kicking ass right now. They're all winning championships and improving why Michigan's the best team in the Big Ten. It's a good addition. We'll see what it does. And this is kind of what I meant when I was talking about it earlier. Our NIL is truly evolving. It really is getting better. And where we were even in January, it's so much better than what it was, but it's still not where it needs to be. And the reason why is because it's an arms race and you got all these universities doing a bunch of crazy stuff. So this is just another addition to Michigan's war chest to be a little bit more competitive in the NIL landscape.
Absolutely. So Therese actually comes from the NFL Players Association, so pretty big deal there. And kind of has a lot of experience on the brand side and marketing side. So being part of the NFLPA, she's definitely very plugged in. And I think that's really important as we're building this NIL base, and expanding our relationships, right? Strengthening those and the outreach that's happening. So I think it's great news. And, the more people or the more resources they dedicate to NIL, I'm happy. So, keep it coming, Michigan. This is great. Do we think that Dr. Santa is a big part of this? The president?
Dude, no question. I mean, since Santaono, literally 3 months into the job, he has kicked NIL in the ass at Michigan to get it going because it was non-existent. No collectives endorsed, no strategy, no game plan. Santaono is the man who headed that. And look, we can give Ward some credit, for the Dusty May hire.
Sure.
Obviously that was a good addition. Sharon Moore transition seems to be promising. Let's see how the results look on the field and everything. And then obviously NIL is evolving. Okay. So you have to give Ward a little credit there, but Santaono, no question, spearheaded the NIL campaign at Michigan, and he deserves a lot of credit.
I was very excited when he came into the university because after what we dealt with the previous president, being the complete opposite when it comes to athletics, I heard nothing but good things from Cincinnati fans about Dr. Santa. So he might be ahead. It is Ono versus Claus. I don't know. It's a tough battle right now because he's really been doing a lot of good stuff for the university.
I'm taking Ono. Santa Claus went down on my power rankings about 20 years ago.
There you go. So we obviously we just had spring ball. We had the spring game, and so kind of looking at the entirety of that and kind of some of the people that we've been hearing have stood out. One that I wanted to share. Alex Orji. I've been on the Alex Orji train for a bit, And Donovan Edwards seems to also be on the Alex Orji train, because recently, as in the last couple of days, he said, Alex Orji is in the lead in the quarterback competition. And I think that that's the first time someone has outright said that he's in the, maybe not, but that's the first time I've heard like, oh yeah, he's in the lead. He is ahead right now. And maybe because they wanted to keep it like as close to the cards as close to the vest as they could. But I think that when you utilize a player in the Ohio State game, in the Alabama game, in the Washington game, you're probably planning on utilizing him again against Fresno State.
Right. Yeah, no, Orji, I mean, yeah, Orji, I agree with you. I mean, they obviously they value Orji. I think they understand what he can be. They understand his potential, especially if they can develop it to what it could be. They're definitely invested in Orji, and I think you can see that right away. I do, I've heard what's interesting because I've heard some recent smoke about Jack Tuttle, even though he's still coming back from injury. I am not on the Jack Tuttle train at all. If Jack Tuttle is our starting quarterback, and I know I might get some pushback in the comments, and that's okay because you can express that pushback on the call-in show on Thursdays. And
yes.
We will be here.
Call in.
Yeah, we will be here for it. But yeah, man, I mean, I have heard some smoke that like, oh, don't be surprised if Jack Tuttle's the leader after fall camp. I would be surprised. I think Orji is probably it is probably his job, but like let's not also forget Davis Warren is battling for that position, and he did a hell of a job in the spring game.
It's true. And Antoine has been saying for the last couple of days about the RPOs that we should be expecting to see with Alex Orji. Kind of running the Ravens or something like that on offense, like we do on defense, and like they do with Lamar. I don't think it's going to be quite that, quite to that level, but I do think they're going to adapt the offense a bit and add some more option concepts for sure.
They've already confirmed that whoever the quarterback is, they will adapt the offense, so the playbook. So. We'll just have to wait and see. That's why, fall camp's going to be like, it's going to be good, man. Cause we're going to be like, just wanting, like, how they don't like leak anything. We're going to be like, I don't know, like dehydrated, like children just looking for water, dude. Like give us the QB notes. Let us know what's going on, but yeah, man, I mean, it should be a good battle.
And Sharon Moore did say that a key criteria for who he's going to pick as the starting quarterback is ability to run the entire offense. He said that, I think it was Rich Eisen. It was one of them. And he said a big criteria, you've got to be able to run the entire offense. And you could make your inferences, your judgments there, whether it's Alex Orji on the deep ball, whether it's Davis Warren, maybe on the running ability, questionable, but maybe there's something to read into there as well, because it just seems like Alex Orji, if they can get the pass, to our magic number of 62%, then it seems like it's a no-brainer there.
Yeah, I mean, if I'll tell you, if he could hit 62 with his running ability, we will be okay. And with the defense and the running game, we will be okay. Like, there's a reason why I've very publicly said 62%, because when you look at the quarterbacks below that number or below 60%, like an Anthony Richardson when he was at Florida, or even a Josh Allen when he was at Wyoming. If people don't know, Josh Allen's accuracy in college was terrible. He just had the tools and obviously the ability. He became accurate in the NFL, and that's very rare, by the way. That's not common. So, when you have a quarterback doing 62, typically they have offenses that are like top 40, you can have like a top 40, top 35 offense in college football. And I believe with our defense and our running game, if we can get our passing game into the top 40, that's enough for us to be not only a playoff team, but a Big Ten contender for the championship. So we'll see where it goes. And if we look at spring game statistics, he's like a 70% quarterback. So, if he can pull it off, man, we'll be okay.
Absolutely. And obviously he wasn't the only standout. We also had some others, and I believe Zeke Berry's one that came up in our conversation a little bit there. Zeke Berry Zachary obviously has had some pretty good moments. In the spring game, and apparently he's taking on a leadership role with the team this year.
Yeah, Zeke Berry seems to be like the one that's thriving the most. His name appears to be just going up the depth chart. I mean, obviously they're moving him to nickelback. That's how much they think of him. And I think Zeke Berry is going to be a player this next season. That's what I love about college football, man. You see these kids develop. You watch their recruitment. You see them maybe play special teams or have a small role, and then they really develop, man. And then I do think Zeke Berry is going to be a breakout player next season.
Yeah, and look at what Sanders still did in the nickelback position. I mean, you could really make some plays in that role. So that could be there. And then for CB2, then if Zeke Berry is going to be in the nickelback position, we were talking about this offline too. Who might be CB2, and it may not be McBurrows.
Well, yeah. So Jair Hill, with DJ Waller unfortunately transferring, another one. With him unfortunately transferring, Jair Hill, in my opinion, from everything I've heard and I've gathered, he probably is the leader. But they're going to say, look, there's a competition in the fall. Jaden McDermott is going to be able to battle. We'll see if. Edmonds was a big time recruit last class. I mean, it's just so rare for a freshman corner to have an impact his first season. It took Will Johnson, who was an elite recruit coming out of high school, almost an entire season before he started making impact on the field. And there's just such a learning curve at that position. So Edmonds, we'll see if he can if he can compete for the position. I'm a little skeptical with that, but I mean, we'll just have to see, man. I mean, I do think the second cornerback position could be a potential concern. It could be a weak point, but I mean, let's also be honest. The roster doesn't have really any weak points, and most teams have weak points. The fact that Michigan's roster, and this is true, even after 13 players drafted, is a damn good roster. We're very strong, man. It's just we do have a position which is CB2, which maybe Jair Hill is a dog, dude. Like he might be. He's extremely athletic, extremely gifted. He very well could be a shutdown corner. So we're just gonna have to wait and see.
I think if we're rolling with Jair Hill at CB2 and Zeke Berry, I think we're fine, honestly. Would I like to see maybe somebody coming in through the transfer portal? If nothing else, as a relief pitcher, because you got to be, the system does rely on being able to rotate people in and out, right? It's not the same people every single time because people get tired. Right. And you want to be able to keep people somewhat fresh. I mean, you do the best you can. So it would be nice to maybe get a little bit of depth, if nothing else, even if they're not the starter. So TBD.
Yep. We'll have to wait and see.
All right. Here we go. So, we've had some fun with Buckeyes, and we have some Buckeyes in our community, including some great ones who I've had awesome conversations with, and then we have the ones that like to throw the fire bombs around. But Gene Smith threw his own when he said recently that of course the Michigan wins should have asterisks. And then a prominent writer released a comeback to that, which I don't have the exact wording, but I think you heard it.
I got
it, TJ?
Yeah. So Dan Wetzel on a podcast said there's no asterisks on this. Calling for an asterisk on this is weak sauce. Just come back and beat them. It's the same thing as declaring your team as tough as can be because you beat Notre Dame with 10 guys on the field. So, I mean, it's so true. This is, and Moose is going to appreciate this. So shout out to Moose because me and him have talked about this. What we are witnessing with Ohio State is truly a broken fan base. And not only that, an entire broken program. I mean, they are literally thirst trapping to try and give an excuse as to why they're losing to Michigan instead of accepting it, owning it, and getting better. Like, just fucking accept it, dude. You're getting your ass kicked on the field 3 years in a row. You're getting manhandled. You're getting your ass beat in the trenches. It's just the reality of it, man. But you guys want to keep having these excuses, and nobody's buying that shit. Like, the reality is, like, Ohio State is trending down since Ryan Day has been put in place. They are. They're still a good team. They're still elite, but you're trending down because you were once like an alpha, and now there's other alphas, and you're getting bullied. And that's just the reality of it, dude. Like we are seeing a decline in Ohio State. Now, it doesn't mean that they can't turn it around very quickly. It's fucking Ohio State. They have all the resources in the world and the motivation to do it. They really do. And in my opinion, if you get a new head coach, you will. But I think Ryan Day is a flawed coach, an extremely gifted and intelligent offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
But as a leader of men, he is not. He is not a leader of men, dude. And you're seeing it in the program. I mean, it's like the Ohio State is infected from not only the program, but to the fan base. You guys are a bunch of whiny bitches, bro. Like, it's just what it is. And we all know, and like, we're all laughing, like the Michigan fans, and then even the national people, like, it's ridiculous. So we'll see. I mean, it just makes it more fun. And I'll tell you right now, man, if we get that 4th win in Ohio this November, I cannot wait for the excuse. Like, what's the next one? Weather again?
Weather.
Like, what is it?
Probably weather.
It was 45 and cloudy.
Yeah.
It was too cold.
And I will say, when you look at the trajectory, you look at they were blessed with 3 of the best quarterbacks in their history, and I would say some of the top in all of college football. With Dwayne Haskins, Justin Fields, who he himself has been taking some shots today, and I didn't like it, and I defended him. And then CJ Stroud. So the bar was set really high. It's like a Clemson situation, right? They had Deshaun Watson, they had Trevor Lawrence, and then, then they're going to have a little bit of a drop off. The same thing is happening at Ohio State. You went from Stroud to McCord, and now to the guy who was about to get benched at Kansas State, or Devin Brown.
Right. Yeah. And in my opinion, they regress. Kyle McCord is better than all of their quarterback options right now. So that's hilarious, but they needed an excuse, because that's what they need. They can't own their own shit. And that's the best thing about it. See, the Michigan State fan base, they're delusional, and they can't accept the reality of their program. And then you have Ohio State, and their problem is they can't own it. They're in denial. So it's just hilarious, bro. And then, Antoine brought up Paul Feinbaum. Paul Feinbaum roasted Ohio State this week too. Did you catch that clip, John?
I did. I did hear about this one.
Okay,
I think Moose sent it to me.
Yeah, me too. Moose is always sending the good shit. But yeah, man. I mean, nationally, the perspective is Ohio State is getting their ass waxed, and they're really just a bunch of cry. It's a bad look, man. Like, just own it, and be better. Do better and be better. That's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah, if Marcus Freeman could count to 11, then they probably would have had 2 losses and been out of the conversation for anything. And then there might have been a conversation about firing Ryan Day, because he's able to fall back on the fact, well, I get 11 wins a year. Okay, but they're not the 11 wins that your fan base and everybody expects you to get. You gotta beat Michigan. Urban Meyer was able to do it a lot, so they still love him over there, and then most of them do. And then now you've got Ryan Day, and not doing so well. He's 0-1 against Sharon Moore, and we'll see if he can. I still have Ohio State barely pulling it off, only because I think their defense, especially when they picked up Caleb Downs, I think that's gonna carry them like they did last year. And all they need to do is not completely, if they don't shit the bed on offense, maybe something weird breaks their way. Maybe we mess up, fumble, something like that, and they win by 1 in Columbus. Because I've got us at 2 losses, 10-2, because I think that's enough where you're pretty much guaranteed to be in the 12-team playoff. That's where I want to be, in the playoff again, because as long as you're in there in some capacity, you have the shot to win the title again.
Of course. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I'm not conceding to Ohio State. I mean, you're not conceding either. You're giving
No,
an honest. You're giving an
giving a
honest.
scenario.
I got you. I don't think I'm not. I'm not lean. I don't think Ohio State's favored. I mean, it's at home, so obviously it makes the game a little bit more difficult. But until I see Ohio State's trench play this season, I think Michigan's got it. So we'll find out what type of team they are when they start getting hit in the freaking mouth. Because the reality is they get
Right.
pushed and bullied. So I'm going to hold judgment on what I think that game's going to
Sure.
be until regular season, of course. And I know that's kind of a safe. You're calling you're not really calling your shot, but you're kind of giving a good take, and I'm kind of sitting on the bench on that. But yeah, man. I mean, uh, I don't know. I'm not sold that Ohio this loaded. They're talented. They're a good team. We're talking about the elite. This is like arguing MJ Jordan type shit right now.
Yeah.
Like these are elite programs, okay? And I just am not sold that they're going to win this next game at all. I mean, I think they are talented, but so are we. But I
Um,
also think we have their kryptonite. You know what I mean? So we'll uh
yeah.
we'll see how the game is played in November.
Absolutely. And before we go to Oregon here, because there's an good Oregon question from Antoine. Trepa says, "Did you hit the Ohio State in the mouth last year?" Well, Rod
Yeah.
Moore kind of, by proxy of, hey, he caught the ball, which McCord didn't have to throw Rod Moore the ball, and he did.
Yeah, and actually, majority of that. So all right, I'll say this,
Yeah.
Cole. Majority of that game, Michigan was winning the trenches, but in the third quarter, Ohio State did punch back.
Hmm.
Okay, and I actually saw Ohio State win a drive and like totally move our defensive line
Yeah.
in the third quarter. So Ohio State has shown some capability to be able to be a very physical team. They have shown it, but the problem is your coach's mentality. Like it's not, and it obviously starts with the head coach, but it trickles down to the position coaches. They're just not getting the most out of their players, and we know that from the recruiting rankings, right? You're just not. You have some of the most athletically gifted players in the country, and they're just not developing to the level that they should. They're not reaching their potential at Ohio State right now. So we'll find out next season, man. I mean, look, the seat's hot for Ryan Day, and the spotlight is on Ohio State because if you lose a fourth time, you got nothing. And
Uh-oh.
you got
Yeah.
nothing now, but we'll let you think you do.
And Nick has a comment as well. I love how Day pursued a center who can't snap. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard he was going to play guard, but even so, look, guess how do you do against Kenneth Graham, Mason Graham last game, or against when we played Alabama, right? He got bullied.
Right.
Well, nothing new. Well, we'll see how that goes in November. You know what I mean? I expect Mason Graham and Kenneth Graham to only be better next season. That's the scary thing. They're only going to be better. You know, they're going to be first round picks. Like there's no doubt about it. There's a lot of hype around Mason Graham potentially being a top 10 pick. So we'll see, man. I mean, this upcoming season is going to be so damn exciting with the new schedule. We got USC, we got Oregon, and the Big 12 join or not the Big 12, but the Pac 12 joining the Big 10. It's going to be this upcoming season is probably going to be one of the most, at least for me, one of the most exciting seasons in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I did pull that up in case it came up, that there are some times and some channels that have been announced. So Fresno State Under the Lights.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Which
That's
will
fun.
be on NBC, and of course the world famous Peacock, which that's always a good time. At least it's going to be on NBC as well, so hopefully, so that we don't have to all buy Peacock again. I'm excited for Texas big noon kickoff. Joel and Gus and Joel. That one's going to be fun.
Yeah, that game. Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm gonna be honest. That's gonna be anxiety's gonna be high on that game because this could be our first like big ass test for the season, and we're gonna find out what the quarterback situation is by then.
Absolutely. USC was just announced, which is going to be a CBS game. How about that?
Yeah.
Michigan on CBS. 3:30 p.m. Eastern. So at least Gary and Brad will have a pretty marquee matchup. I have to chuckle when I think about them having to call like Northwestern versus Indiana or something like that. They're used to calling Alabama Tennessee, and now they're going to have to call Indiana Northwestern. But no, they're giving them some pretty good matchups.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'd say the Indiana Northwestern game might be on Big Ten TV, but I hear you. I mean, it is interesting to see them not doing SEC games anymore because they've always done them.
Absolutely. Yeah, apparently Mark was saying that they did them back in the day. It's not their first rodeo, but it's been quite some time. Okay. So very exciting there. And then to the shock of absolutely no one, Ohio State will be at noon on Fox.
And it always will
be. No surprise.
Yeah, no, Fox has literally said that the game is, it alone is like, it covers their freaking TV contract for advertising dollars. So Fox, as long as they hold the rights to Big Ten, it will always be at noon, last game of the year type of situation. So, and I like it like that. That's good. Although I will say a night game would be pretty crazy. It'd be pretty damn crazy.
It would. It may happen at some point because with the playoff system the way that it is and the Big Ten championship set up the way that it is, it's possible that the Big Ten championship is Michigan versus Ohio State at night.
Right.
And it's possible that there's a playoff game where one of them is hosting it. So anything's possible.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it could get really interesting, man. It could. It's going to be fun, dude. I'm loving it.
And we do have a question from Antoine about Oregon. So we covered Ohio State. We talked a little bit about Texas. And the other game that I think could be one of the two losses or is a good contender to be would be Oregon. And Antoine's laying out the case right here that the trenches is just not working out, for Oregon. And they look like little fellas up front. And the evidence is that Washington beat Oregon twice or three times, actually, if you count before. And yet, look at what Michigan did in the national championship game.
Yeah, man. I mean, man amongst boys. I mean, that's Big Ten physical football, man. Like, I do think Oregon's going to adjust. I think they will be still a good team, but I do think there's going to be an awakening. I don't think these Pac-12 teams, like, this isn't Arizona, bro. This isn't, UCLA. Like, this is freaking Penn State, Iowa. Iowa's a bunch of kids who are all effort and like don't quit. Like, Iowa is the epitome of overachievers, and they will too. Like, they will literally sneak up and get a win, dude. So, I think that's another reason why this season is gonna be so fun to see. Like, how does the Pac-12 adjust to Big Ten play? Because the Big Ten has not changed. I mean, it's funny because Wisconsin, you would group in that category, but Luke Fickell's kind of doing some different things with Wisconsin, so they're kind of becoming a little Pac-12-y, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see how things adjust and how Oregon's able to handle it.
It's true. So some programming notes again before we get to our channel. We do want to remind everybody that Monday through Thursday you can join Mark for Wake Up College Football, and you might get some headlines. You might get some breakfast segments. You never quite know what you're going to get when you wake up and then you turn on Mark for Wake Up College Football. I don't know if you've checked it out, but yeah, it's every day it's like something a little different.
Yeah, I was watching when he was in his kitchen making some food. I'll have to check it again though. It's a clever idea, man. I'm interested to see like how he evolves it and where he goes with it. But I like that we have a morning show on the network. It's pretty cool, and I'll have to check out some more episodes.
Absolutely. And then of course the Michigan channel, 3 new additions. So the TJ, we got the weekly call-in show Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be your baby, and I'll be on whenever I can. Things aren't too crazy in life, I will join in. So Brave all these brave keyboard warriors, Thursday at 9 is your opportunity to talk to us directly. So I'm curious to hear who actually has the balls to come on and say the same things they say in the comments.
Yeah, let's debate. Let's debate. That's what it's for, man. Let's
Chop it
engage
up.
with let's engage with the community, and we're open to debate. I mean, look, I don't bat 1,000. I'm not always right. I'm always open to learn, but if you bring some bullshit, we're gonna call it out. So it should be fun. I'm excited. Hopefully, everyone in the chat joins the show Thursday or is watching and participates because we're looking to really build it and grow the channel overall, and this is another step in that direction for us.
Absolutely. And Moose says long overdue. I know that's on me. Just haven't had the time to do it every week. We did have the Ocho before. That was all of Big Ten, but now we will have a Michigan call-in show hosted by TJ. And I agree. It's great. And obviously Michigan fans like Moose, I hope will also call in. Dependent Fanatic just said he's going to call in. So sounds like we'll have some callers lined up. Also, TJ, you're going to be doing some videos.
Yeah, once we get things squared away, you can look forward to some recruiting breakdowns when they happen. We'll watch some highlight tapes. We'll go over the player, what I think, where they're going to fit, maybe the potential. I don't know. We'll play with it. We'll definitely evolve it. It's going to be just like the call-in show. We're gonna see where we are, and we'll see where we can grow it. I mean, it's definitely going to be a work in progress in the sense of like starting out something new, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a nice addition to the channel, so we can, as you said, we got the metrics standpoint, we got the recruiting standpoint, we got the breaking news or the team aspect, and all bases are covered now on the Voice of College Football at the Michigan channel.
Absolutely. And when there's breaking news and I'm able to go live, we'll I'll do it. If you're able to go live, you'll do it. So whoever's available in our pool of talent that we're growing now can host the show. If others of us are tied in, so that way we can have more breaking news episodes and call-in shows and all that stuff. So very exciting. And then finally, thanks to TJ's efforts and working with Mark there, we are now available by audio podcast on Spotify, Audible, Amazon, and soon Apple Podcasts. So wherever you get your podcasts, we're going to be.
Yep. And if anybody has any other podcast platforms they're using and they don't see us, let me know, because we're trying to get everything squared away. Google Podcasts is actually going to be ending at the end of July. I just found that out. So That is why we are not there, if anyone is wondering.
Wow. Didn't know that till just now. So you learn something new every day. Google Podcast is ending. Mackenzie says excited for the future of Voice of College Football. Same here.
We appreciate that.
Same here. Yeah. And we appreciate TJ and you taking a role there and driving it forward. So we can do that. And yeah, Mackenzie, we'll have to, maybe we'll do a tutorial someday, but maybe we can do that. Who knows? But I don't know if you want to share how it's done.
Yeah. So what if you're looking to do this, Mackenzie, so what you do is you get a hosting service. Okay. Then you create a channel through that, and then you upload that whatever episode you want to upload, right? So tonight I'm gonna strip the audio and I'll upload this so it'll be ready for tomorrow. And then what you do is you have to get activated. So you have to so for example, we use Acast as our hosting service, and you basically they have all the different podcasting platforms on there, from Spotify to Apple, etc. And then you just say you want to get activated through there, and then there's a waiting period. Some take 48 hours. Apple can take a week to a couple weeks, so we're kind of waiting on that. And then you should be good to go. I've already checked. We are, as we pointed out, we are on Spotify, we are on Audible and Amazon. So the next step for us is Apple, unless there's another one I'm unaware of, which I don't think I am unaware, but you never know.
Yep, just got to get Tim Cook and the Apple folks on board with the Maize and Blue, and then we'll we'll be on everything pretty much, and so that's very exciting that we're doing that. And thank you, Dependent Fanatic. And Dependent Fanatic is always here, always giving great takes. So is Moose, and posting the merch store like that. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we really appreciate here. So thank you to that, Moose, and Ticket Smarter as well. Get your tickets at Ticket Smarter. It's another sponsor that we have. So very cool. And so we're at that time. We're at that time, TJ. We've had a lot of discussions on a lot of things, and now it's time for final thought. And where can everybody find you? So I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, so if you want to find me, I am on Twitter at Ronan Sports Talk. Give me a follow. Talking Michigan football, we can debate ideas or whatever. If I happen to have some recruiting information before the show that isn't necessarily enough to do its own segment, like a breaking news segment, I'll drop it there. So if you're into recruiting, give me a follow. And yeah, man, I mean, just we got the call-in show Thursday, which I'm really looking forward to. Tomorrow, we need to promote this, John. I just remembered. Tomorrow, we have a debate with the Texas channel.
Yes.
So I will be, I don't know how we're going to work that with the, are we going to be able to stream it on this channel or not? I do know
it'll probably get cross-streamed. Yeah.
All right. I don't know who's handling the logistics on that, but I will be on the Texas channel. I will be debating Matt Miller, right? Is that his name, John?
Yeah. Matt Miller. And what time is that?
So that's at 8 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to be debating who had the better draft class, Michigan or Texas. And I'm pretty sure you guys know who I'm going to be debating for. And I feel pretty confident in my position, but we'll see what Matt brings to the table. It should be a good show, and we're not backing down. We're coming for the victory.
Absolutely. No, that's very exciting. And I've been saying we need more debate stuff on here. Just like, we gotta, I think Voice of College Football could put Undisputed to shame. I just do.
Bro, we're coming, dude. Like, I mean, I've taken a look at like kind of the, the talent around the network. I mean, we got some pretty sharp guys. I'll tell you this, any debates going forward, like if you're unable, John, I already talked to Ferris. He's down. I mean, I can only imagine what type of shit he's got cooking with his mind. So like, I feel like he could have he'll create some metric that'll just blow people out of the water, But yeah, man, I mean, the debating, I think we'll see more cross show debates going forward. I know Mark said he wanted to start doing that more. So it should be good, man. I mean, 2024 should be a good year for the Voice of College Football Network. I'll say that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So TJ versus Matt Miller, who hosts our Texas show. And that's going to be very exciting. And for those of you who don't know me, for whatever reason, my name's John Diadamo. I was your host for the last hour or so. You could find me on Twix at John Diadamo. I host this show and sometimes guest on some other shows. And I'll be on guesting on the call-in show on Thursday at 9. So very exciting for all of that. Any final comments here? Chip and dip. That's great. Chip and dip. Yeah, okay. Chip and dip didn't even want to run the ball till Jim Harbaugh whipped his butt with Stanford. So there we go. Thank you, Antoine. Great closing statement there. So yeah, I'll be watching tomorrow, TJ, and I'm looking forward to you guys debating. And until next time, it's John Diadamo saying, go blue, and we'll see you.
Go blue.